Hello everyone, this is Group 15, and this presentation provides our team's recommendation on the next steps multinational beverage incorporation should take to help improve the sales of fresh squeezed orange juice. My name is Najia Mohsin.
My name is Awatif Ismail.
And my name is Ethan McLeod.
So, with the new production innovation rapidly penetrating the orange juice market, it's critical that fresh squeeze stays ahead of the market and its competitors. Consumer preferences and trends are continuing to change, which causes the sales of the fresh squeeze brand to decline. What we need to do is tailor our brand's market share to our customers' desires. So when formulating our action plan to address declining sales, target market, brand identity, and incorporating how triple bottom line plays a huge role for the company, we have several options to consider. The first option is to relocate the production to Brazil, which is a viable option in terms of cost savings as compared to our rivals. But since brand recognition is so critical to us, we must be careful about the reputational risks associated with this possible move. Reports heavily suggest that Brazil practices poor labor operations, and additionally, pesticides that aren't legal in the US yet are used in Brazil, which would hurt our appeal towards customers that are more interested in healthier or organic products. Then the second option is to increase investment in trade spending. We could do this by various promotional activities and advertising campaigns. However, it will fall short of addressing concerns that are central to the mission of Fresh Squeeze. Our final option is to reposition Fresh Squeeze as a premium brand with a distinct product line of orange juice blends. And after analyzing to come up with our final solution, we came to the conclusion that with continuing, the final option of repositioning Fresh Squeeze would be the best interest of this brand. The remainder of our presentation will focus on how this decision affects the triple bottom line, which includes the people, the planet, and the profit. So like I said, our recommendation is to reposition the brand completely, and we can establish this and rebrand Fresh Squeeze by setting higher price points, making some changes to packaging, and marketing more towards our target audience, which Ethan will actually discuss later on in the presentation.
The major threats to the orange juice industry has been a concern. Florida, being known as a Sunshine State, hasn't been reaching the production percentage in recent years due to the climate change, which has gotten worse around the globe. Florida's geographical features make it vulnerable to the severe weather. The severity has been increased and skyrocketed recovery costs. And the second threat, the spread of citrus greening, which is a bacterial disease found in southern Florida, and the disease is spread by an insect called Asian citrus psyllid, which feeds on the stems and leaves of trees. The disease has had a reduction in food quantity and size. As both are major environmental threats and both have pros and cons, there's always a solution. Relocating the production to Brazil won't make the cut either due to the environmental and health risks due to the many pesticides banned in the United States, which is why staying in Florida is the best option as climate change can be affected anywhere. Brazil still uses illegal pesticides which are and can affect the nourishment of growing oranges. On the contrary, the bacterial disease citrus greening can have solutions too. For instance, you can spray antibiotics and pesticides in an attempt to save trees. You need to have rapid removal of the infected trees. Environmental threats can be in any city or country you decide to go with, because Mother Nature has its own course and we have the diversity of consumers. Setting higher price points. To meet the competition, it is crucial for Fresh Squeeze to decrease their market sharing declines, as they have been noticing these declines for the past 3 quarters. By updating the package to give the brand a more premium feel and by introducing new flavors, that would also add to the premium feel. Fresh Squeeze is able to justify a higher price point, although this would incur an initial cost of $500,000, we are able to forecast an increase of profit by 15 to 25%.
Here we have a breakdown of each generation's population proportion, along with a visual comparison of their monthly spending, with the majority leader being the baby boomers in population and Generation X in spending. So these groups are quite essential to target. However, we also want to touch base with as many age groups as possible. The silent generation is a harder group to target due to them mainly being value conscious, whilst most of our competitors are able to offer cheaper options, and baby boomers aren't really concerned with the sourcing of products relative to other generations. Staying US made appeals to baby boomers compared to other brands branching outside of the US. Finding a brand that is still US sourced is a pivotal selling point to such a major consumer group being 29% of US consumers. Additionally, these baby boomers are very brand loyal, so they would stick with the brand with introductions of new products and may be open to branching out to them also due to their nationalistic tendencies. New products could also attract new customers, along with mixing it up for people that are more open to other products from us, like Gen X, who's very open to new products whilst also remaining brand loyal. Millennials are another group that is harder for fresh squeeze to target due to a majority of US sourcing of oranges being non-organic. However, fresh squeezed orange juice is more natural compared to some orange juices due to it not being from a concentrate, so that would appeal to millennials because they are more health conscious. Generation Z is the hardest generation for fresh squeeze to target because they are mainly focused on organic products, whereas our orange juice is not organic due to a majority of US sourcing using GMOs to combat citrus greening. Additionally, they prefer internationally sourced products, so being US sourced is not a good selling point for this generation. The next topic at hand is like how we are going to target these different generations. So first off, our labeling needs to show it's US sourced, along with being all natural to appeal to generations that are more health conscious, like the baby boomers, the millennials, and Gen Z. Additionally, if we started to use recycled materials for our containers, that would appeal to younger generations that are more environmentally conscious, such as millennials and Gen Z. It is an additional cost, though being more expensive than just like creating new plastic. Being ethical isn't always cheap. Being ethical is like a major selling point for a brand, and it can also create brand loyalty for the generations that like to stick with the same brand, and it could also potentially attract new customers that would be loyal to the brand also. Additionally, introducing new unique flavors for customers to try could create a unique selling point for the brand, and these flavors could be like orange mango, orange grapefruit, and an orange pineapple cucumber blend. These unique flavors would also appeal to the adventurous side of Gen X. And finally, I want to talk about a major concern, which is a generational shift and how we would respond to that. Over time, one generation is going to be moved out as another one is moved in. This population pyramid gives us a general view of what we can expect to see in the future because the population of the US is going to stick to this general bell shape where it starts it's going to stick to this general bell shape and it's going to narrow towards the top, which is a generation being phased out essentially. So what are we going to do to appeal to the younger generations that are going to hold a new majority when the shifting begins? This is kind of planning for later down the line, but we could rebrand as organic and start sourcing in the US from organic orchards to appeal to the generations following Gen Z. They'll be more conscious of sourcing. Or at least put this into action as something for us to work towards in the future, just so we have an idea of where to go from here to help continue our growth through this generational shift.
In summary, option 3, repositioning fresh squeeze, is our best option because new recycled packaging will have an ethical appeal that will also help retain loyal customers. Introducing new flavors will create a unique selling point with flavors, and introducing new labeling, which advertises US production, and also that it's natural to help increase sales to target generations. Thank you so much.